Hello, let's play a bunch of daily word games. The games are daily. The video is weekly, kind of. Hope, did you miss me? It's been a couple weeks. All right. Well, today's bonus game is Parseword, a new word game created by Josh Wardle, the creator of Wordle. And it's similar to Minute Cryptic, if you're going to make it similar to anything. Let's just do today's puzzle. So what we need to do is, this is a cryptic crossword clue, but we actually put together exactly how the indicators and everything work here. So we've got goat cheese initially paired with fruit, not finished by nurse. So I feel like fruit not finished could just be FRUI. So I wonder if that's what's going on. We can always undo. So cheese initially could be the C. And then C is paired with FRUI. Wonder if goat is our definition or nurse is our definition. So I'm playing in the expert mode where it hides the length of the solution from you. So what would C paired with fruit be? CFRUI. I don't think this is going anywhere. Let me reset. By nurse. I really like fruit not finished being FRUI, but I don't know what to do with that. Goat cheese initially, could that give me a GC? Could. Paired with not finished. By nurse. I mean, goat cheese could be feta, but I don't know how we do that. I think that's too on the nose for a cryptic. So what else can we do here? I mean, nurse could be our definition, and by could be our equal sign, maybe. So would we do goat cheese initially for GC, then GC paired with fruit, not finished? GC paired with fruit, GC fruit. Maybe fruit not finished first. This is kind of what I had already. GC free. It doesn't work. Paired with. I'm gonna take the hint, which should tell me the length of the solution. We have a 9-letter solution. Oh boy, that's long. Nurse, goat. Initially paired could be the P. Goat. What would be another word for goat, though? This is listed as hard. Let's find out what our definition is. Our definition is goat. So far, nothing's been super surprising, other than maybe 9-letter answer. So cheese initially, or is it going to be cheese initially paired? Could that give us CH? No, not according to the game. All right, so cheese initially might be the C. Paired with fruit not finished. What are we doing with by nurse then? So if we pair it with fruit, if we do fruit not finished first, not finished by could be the B. No, probably not according to that. So fruit not finished would be FRUI. And then we'd pair them. And then it would be by nurse. We end up with a 10-letter word, Fruian nurse, which is obviously wrong. So the other thing we can do is we can replace any word with another word. Tend, maybe? Fruit, tend, goat. I just don't understand. It would maybe greatest or something? Like if goat was supposed to be the acronym, greatest of all time, but I'm trying to think of a 9-letter word for goat. Like, it's not coming to me. Maybe I need to replace fruit with something. So I think let's keep this C. C, what would C paired be? Nothing. C paired with nothing. Paired with fruit could be paired fruit, but yeah, that's not it. So I think this is true, but I think we need to replace fruit with something first. So C, Capricot. You know, Capricorn is probably the answer. So let's see how we get there. So fruit not finished. So first of all, fruit replaced with apricot. Then apricot is not finished, which is apricot. And then we pair it with this, and that gets us capricot. So we need RN now. So a nurse is an RN, and capricot by RN is Capricorn, and that's our answer. Okay. Got it. That took a bit. Yeah, that was interesting. So this game is much more likely, way more likely than Minute Cryptic to do like crazy replacements, because you're actually only given a few options for those replacements. So I need to keep that in mind for future games. All right. Let's continue to Dordle. Let's start with goats. Why not? All right. So I like to play Dordle in hard mode. It's kind of a self-enforced one. So I'll always do a guess that, unless I get really stuck, I'll always do a guess that could be the answer to either one. So I like to target the one that will give you the most info. So why don't we just start with S? Common letters we want are RLN. We don't have to start with S, but maybe an SL word. How about just slime? I don't know. Oh, wow, that was very lucky. Now, if I can get the right word, that's best, but I don't know if there's only one option. Feels like there might be. It's probably smell. Smelt is not possible, so let's just go for smell. All right. Left word. 1 L, not 2. So we've got E and A. I'm wondering if we're an ER word. Well, then it would be later, which I do believe works. It's not, but it's close. So where do the T and the L go? The L does not go at the ends. The L has to go in the middle. It could be ballet. No, that's 2 L's. So what about T-A-L-E? Tally? That's not how you spell tally. Tailed? Palu? Talon? That's not right. Okay, what about A-L-E-T then? I looked at that. Feels like we need double L. Valet. Valet. Okay. Why does valet have 1 L and ballet has 2 L's? All right. The valet smells. That's really unfortunate. I hope it doesn't get in the car. Let's move on to Fibble. So in Fibble, there is 1 lie per guess. So it starts us off with setup. I would like to use all of the existing letters, but that might be tough on this one. There might be a compromise to do an SP word, have that S be the lie. So something like is sprug a word or something? Sprug is a word. Okay. So any contradictions? Not a single contradiction. That's crazy. Okay. What do I do here? I mean, it would make sense to say this R is lying and just keep going, but S something something UP? Why doesn't it like that? Oh, the P can't go at the end if the S is first. So like syrup? No, syrup doesn't work. Can't start with the S and N and P. I made the same mistake again. But like something like this? No. If I omit the R, I can't put the S there. Okay, so something like that. But then I need a T or an E. I think I gotta pick one of these to be wrong. Is it the U? Is it the P? I gotta omit an an SP or U, and I have to use an R where it is. Can I do like this? Maybe if I omit the U, would that be easier? I'm not sure if it would, but we could do P and then R and then like an S somewhere. Parse. It doesn't work because there's no E. Parsey. This is really confusing. I'm sorry. I don't know where these letters go. Can I omit the S maybe? Porous. Oh, that doesn't omit the S. It just doesn't feel like a word, does it? I'm not seeing it. Can we do, I don't know, what can we do? Omit the, start with P, R, omit the U. I tried this already. I think I should test this with a plural, even though it won't be an answer. It'll be still hard mode word. Is there pores, but there's no E? In this case, at least. Pyrus wouldn't actually have a lie. Parks. Okay, we finally have a contradiction. So one of these P's is lying. That means that these R's have to be true and there has to be an S in the word. So if the R is true, I'm positive that the G is also true because otherwise we'd need a anagram of sprug. That's not happening. All right. So I think my theory is right that either S, U, or P is lying. In fact, we know S, P, or U is lying, which means these are correct as well. Now we know there's an S in the word, so there has to be an S. Now, we could start with S. That could still be the lie. But I feel like we used up our ability to do that. Because if S is the lie, then we have nowhere to put P, because the U would be here. And there can't be P at the end, yeah. So these S's are true. Because if they were lying, they'd have to lie as green. And that's no good. Because we don't have anywhere to put the P in that case. Okay. Usually words don't end in S, so we could say that's true as well. Let's investigate the idea of this P being accurate. So we definitely have this, that in that case, we'd have the R here, and we'd have the U here. We need an S somewhere. Maybe like this? Just an RUS word? What would there be? Doesn't feel like something that would be a word. There's walrus, but that's too long. And other problems. Porous. That could still be the P lying. No, doesn't work. So another option is that this P is lying. And there's no U. We're back to this. I think there is a word here, and I just don't see it. What is it? I could guess parse. It would be a filler. Porso. Porcy. Pierso. I just don't think I have the vowels for it. Okay. I don't think this P, could this P be a yellow? So we'd have like RP, SRP or something? I mean, it wouldn't have, it would have the correct number of lies, but like what? Serp. If I do RS like this, I I'd have to do RUS, right? Or could I do PR something S? No. I don't have, I could do RPS. No. I'm sorry, if I do RS, I have to omit the P. So that means I have to use the U, and that's the only option. So RUS. This is the option, either RUS or that PRS option. Neither of which seem to have words. Like there's US words, focus. What was the other one I thought of? There was another one I thought of in my head, but anyway. Bonus was the other one. But RUS, I'm not sure. Moors, doors. I can't think of it. Darn. What's going on here? The only other option I can think of is P something RS something. But there just aren't the right letters for that. Definitely not PSR. I think I have to do a filler. So we're going to do bonus as a filler. What did we learn? Well, there's a contradiction between these two. I really don't think that helped me. I don't think that helped me at all. Maybe I should have done something closer to one of the existing words. The other US word I thought of was, other than bonus, what was it? Focus. So I'm going to guess that as well. All right. We got an X-wing. So there's a contradiction between these O's and a contradiction between these U's. So that uses a lie, that uses a lie. If you're not one of those, you are not lying. So it does end in S, which means it is RUS. And I don't think it can be an O there, because that wouldn't have any lies in bonus. So could we be starting with a vowel maybe? We repeat a letter. I can't think of the RUS word. I mean, I basically have it, right? I just don't. If that makes any sense. It's like there's one word left and I can't find it. Is something like Lyris a word? Or is Pyrus, except no. How do you spell Pyrus? Like the paper. Or that papyrus. That's papyrus. I could do porous. No, I don't think that's a word. I don't think that's how you spell it. R-U-O, porous. Anyway, like having holes in it. Is there an iris? Lyris. Virus. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I had virus 2 guesses ago. I just didn't have it, if that makes any sense. Like, I knew it. I knew what it had to look like, at least. Just really hard to think of virus sometimes. All right, let's move on to Betweenle. We will start with a virus. All right, so we are pretty close to middling here. 54% away from all A's is in the M's somewhere. Maybe a later M. Let's do a middling N, like minus. Okay, so 0.5 away from minus. Is that still going to be an MI? Probably not. Let's try an MO, like money. Okay, between minus and money, closer to money. Moist. Pretty close to moist. Maybe an MOL. I don't think there's an MOI left. Is there an MOL? Like Molly? Like halfway between moist and Molly? Moldo. Darn, I'm struggling today. I'm really struggling today on these games. Moldy. No. Is there another mold word? Wow. Is it MOI? Is it MOJ? MOK? I just don't think J and K work. We're still closer to moldy. Molar. As soon as I typed that A, it instantly came to me. Okay, molar and 7. Like, so far, it hasn't been uncommon words. It's just been tough common words. I don't know. Wait, let's do word 500. We'll start with molar. 2 yellows. I like to say it's the vowels until proven otherwise. I don't know how well that works, but it seems to be the way I go. Why don't I just swap the A and the O and see if there's something like manner, but obviously not that. What can I do here? Maybe this isn't the best thing to do. L and R are both common enough that they could be in for sure. M I wouldn't consider till later. Obviously it's possible, but another strategy would be to go for like 2 of the least common letters and just hope to get all reds. So like even just specifically include uncommon letters with them. But I could just even just do like an OME word or something. What would I want to do? You know what's possible? We could do stall. I mean, it takes the L, but I mean, it's the L instead of the M, but it's something to guess. Let's just go with this instead. 1 green, 2 yellows. I'd like to think that the E was green here. So let's keep the L and the O, and let's just do O. I was going to do LO like that, but that's not possible in this case. I still can put an L here, but I don't know where the O would go. So what if we didn't have the O? What if we had the A? So we can do LAE. And then we just have to bring in an S or a T in one of these spots. Well, in this spot. So LATE. Plate. 1 green, 1 yellow. So no A then. And no T. So is it the S? If E's at the end, which is a big if. No A, no A. I could use an R, I suppose. So, I mean, this is too much, though. I have to start with L, and that kind of ruins my option for R, but it would be like this. Okay, let's go back to the drawing board here. What are my 2 yellows here? Let's just say there's an E. E is the most common letter. I don't like to get rid of it until proven otherwise. So let's use it as yellow instead of green then. So maybe I got a green A here. That lets me put a yellow here. And then I need 2 of these. So I need an S or a T. So if I brought in the O as yellow here and here, then I just need an S or a T as green. Something like this should have a word. Oh, but where does the O go? That's the problem with using the O. Maybe I should use the L instead. No, because then I don't get the A. All right, well, I actually kind of like having an L here, so let's investigate that option. No. Yes. That's okay. I could do something like this. So I'd have SL, an E somewhere, and then I need an M or an R. Like slur. Or I could put the E here, but then the R would go here, so probably not. So like the R would be yellow here. It would be SLER in this case, which I don't think is a word. I keep putting myself in these holes today. Could omit the E. Let's omit the E. I want the L to be here. Can I get the L to be there in any way? We don't even have to say no E. Just I want the L. So one of these is yellow. Another one of these is yellow. If I took the A, I wouldn't get to put an A here. In fact, I don't get to put an A or an O here. Well, I could take the green O here. So I'd have LO. Now, I would need a yellow from plate, and I would need a yellow from stole. Is there an ELO word that I actually have left? Like, is elong a word, or like a Y at the end? Elegy? Okay, 2 greens in elegy. Oof. So if it was the LO, it means I just don't have the E or GY. So it still lines up with LO, but I'm getting limited on what I can do here. Maybe the T is yellow in both spots. So really what I want is something LO and then T at the end. Clout. Ooh. Flout. Figured it out. Okay. Yeah, the fact that I wanted L second was key here. And finally admitting there might not be an E in the word. All right, let's move on to Polygonle. Can I? No. All right. Sorry. These repeat and these repeat. So if I did an ing, it feels like I should be able to get something like TTING, mitting, litting, pitting. All right, well, it starts with P. There is a T, but it doesn't repeat. So the T is somewhere over here. So what are we going to do here? A vowel? Feels like a vowel to me. I don't know which one. And then what do we end with? Maybe an S? Like pellets. That was a good solve. Okay, finally a good solve today. Let's go to the mini. These repeat. So like horror. Nope. I don't know where the C is going to go. Is it going to be like an SC word? Like, oh, it can't be seen. Scala is a programming language. It accepts it. Okay. That would be a proper noun, though. Where's the C going? I don't think we're repeating the C like this. We could repeat the S like this, but then it would be SCS, which I'm not throwing out immediately. No. So repeated C with the S here. What's going on? If this was C, this could be a repeated vowel with an S here. What is A, E, and O are gone. I get I's and U's, and generally words don't end in U. So I think I'm stuck with this, unless the C repeats. Maybe, oh, CIC is actually possible, but at the same time, with the S, it makes it hard. Is this possible? Discs? Oh, that's the opposite. Oh, but the opposite's okay. There we go. Okay, plural. Forgot that this could be plural. Okay, let's move on to Symble. Always start with blaze and Symble. I always start with blaze and Symble. Let's say it ends in E, so we will do rouse. Ooh. So I think it does end in E. I think it has to, which means the first 2 letters are something in rouse other than the E at the end. So we could put R second, but then we'd have to start with, maybe it's just like an SU then. Saying starting with O or U might not be greatest test right now. But what would this be? Sweet. Okay, so it's IE, and it starts with U, and the second letter is an R or an S. Is usine a word? Oh, urine is a word, of course. Okay. What's with the words today that are like common but hard to think of? All right. finally, we will do Fusele. We'll start with urine. This twist, we are going to get only greens. So any of these could have been yellow. We just don't know. But we do know it ends in E. Here, we're not going to learn about these two, which is unfortunate. So do we want to test any of these yellow? I could do something like rinse. We won't learn about the N, but we'll learn about RI. Turns out there is an R. So it's not here or here. So maybe it's an RE word. We don't know about N yet, but we know that there's no I. We also don't know about U yet. What would I want to do? N would be here or here. Maybe I can ignore those for now. These are alphabetical clues. So if I can include S's, that's actually really useful because S is in this sort of cluster of really common letters. So maybe start with S. We could just do something simple like stare. Actually, I want to do store because A isn't as close to many letters as O is. Or I could have just gotten the answer with stare. Wow, can you believe the answer was just stare? Okay. Cool. The next twist wouldn't have let us get the answer. We'd have to do a PTC here, which I'm pretty sure is only patch. All right. Cool. Well, that is it for these games. How'd you do? And if you enjoyed this, why don't leave a like, subscribe, and a kind comment below.